Talking Football on WTNS with Steve Cores and Casey Claxon.
Welcome to Talkin' Football from WTNS, brought to you by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most. Casey Claxon back again with Coos, Steve Cores. It is week 4 of the high school football season. Coos, as we record this on Wednesday, we got a nice weather day, and it looks like we got good weather for Friday night.
It looks that way. We had a little bit of rain finally on Friday. It took a little while to get all the games in, but they managed to get it done.
Yeah, you had a late night.
We had a late night.
I was coming back from the game that I was at up in Northern Ohio, and you were still on the air. It seemed like it was the fourth quarter just starting, but you had a long one. Give us a recap of the Coshocton game at Stewart Field on Friday.
Well, it was a really good game. The early in the game, nobody scored. You got to the weather break, which was midway through the first quarter. Once they got that by them, both teams came out and scored 7-7 at the half. Big third quarter, especially for the visitors. They put 28 points on the board. Coshocton answered with 14, and then they went on to win the game 42-28.
So for Coshocton, they are going to be taking on another tough opponent this week. We have John Glenn, and from what you were telling me earlier, that they've got a big offensive line.
They do. They've got a big team. They've got an outstanding quarterback. They're going to run the football a lot and mix in the pass. It's going to be a game where Coshocton defensively has to play well to stay in this football game.
The Riverview Black Bears lost their third game in a row. They were at home last week. They're back at home at Don Rushing Stadium on Friday. Give us a preview of their matchup against Philo.
Well, I tell you what, Philo, another team, big up front. They're going to pound it at you, no question about that. Riverview feels pretty good about last week, even though it was 48-7. They moved the football a little bit, and that's what Coach Lasecki was happy about. They're starting to see some momentum being built, and they're hopeful that they can play well come Friday night.
And our feature game coming up this Friday, the Ridgewood Generals will be at home. General Stadium, the site, as they match up with the Redskins of Utica. We'll preview that game and have more. Plus, our question for Coos. That's coming up as well, right after this message from Coshocton Regional Medical Center.
This is Coshocton County. This is our home. And these are the people we are proud to care for. From sniffles to surgeries, from bumps and bruises to broken bones, excellent care is closer than you think. At Coshocton Regional Medical Center, we are proud to provide a comprehensive approach to healing for our community, because we believe that home is where care matters most.
Friday night, it's the Ridgewood Generals and the Redskins of Utica High School. Second time this year the Generals play a team as the Redskins. They had Warriors last week. Before we preview that game, give us just a rundown of Ridgewood's win at Carrollton.
Well, it's a good win. Yeah, they didn't play well early on. They weren't real happy with the way they moved the football, had some turnovers, but really that defense has really stood out all season long. They've pitched basically 3 shutouts to this point. The only points being scored was on a safety in the game, week 1 against Coshocton. It's going to be, I expect a little bit the same thing this week. That defense is going to be very tough to penetrate, and I think they'll have enough offense to get away with a win.
So give us a preview of Utica. What are we looking at with the Redskins from Licking County?
Well, I think they're going to spread it a little bit from what I understand. They're going to throw it around a little bit or try to throw it around a little bit. Most people early on, I think, get away from the run and maybe a little bit too quickly against Ridgewood because they've got a suffocating front defense. They use, I think 3 or 4 linebackers, and they really can cover well.
So we'll have that game coming up on Friday night, pregame show at about 6:35, kickoff and play-by-play with Coos and Chris Wallace. That will be at 7. You can listen to the game on FM 99.3 WTNS, and we will live stream the game on our YouTube channel and the WTNS website, mywtnsradio.com. All right, now it's time for our question for Coos for this week. And so, Coos, here's my question this week. Well, first let me say this. So when I first moved to Coshocton County back in 2004, I remember hearing you on the radio with legendary broadcaster Tom Thompson. And Tom would call you Steve, and then he would call you Coos, and I wondered, is that the same person or what? And then I find out it's you. You're Coos. So how did you get your nickname of Coos. That's the question for Coos. Where did you get your nickname?
Well, it goes back a ways.
Oh, okay.
Way back. Actually, when I was in grade school, I was a big Boston Celtics fan, and Bob Cousy was kind of my idol at the time.
Yeah.
They used to call me Cousy until it got to the point, well, that's too many syllables, so they decided to just cut it to Coos, and it's one of those nicknames that stuck.
Oh, so, Coos, you're running laps, you know.
That's about the way it worked, too.
Oh, okay, yeah, tip-top shape. So, well, great. Thanks for sharing that story. I know a lot of people probably wonder, who is this Coos guy? So, but great story. So we appreciate that. So Coos, now you know how he got his nickname. He'll be on the air at 6:35 pregame show, Coach's Corner, kickoff and play-by-play Friday night at 7 o'clock, Ridgewood and Utica. This is Talkin' Football, brought to you by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most.
Talking Football is a production of WTNS Sports and Claxon Communications.